Preeta Bansal has been a long-time board member and currently is an honorary board member of the Interfaith Center of New York. She, like our honoree, is no stranger to public service, law, and interfaith work. She was Solicitor General of the State of New York in 1999-2002, and more recently served in the Obama White House as General Counsel and Senior Policy Advisor in the Office of Management and Budget. She was a partner at Skadden Arps in New York City and also served as chair of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom, during which time she helped advise on the drafting of the Iraqi and Afghan constitutions and led dozens of diplomatic missions abroad. Currently, she is focusing on reimagining a re-engineering governance system in a networked world as a senior lecturer at MIT. Please welcome Preeta Bansal.
So imagine this scenario. Congress is holding hearings investigating allegations and concerns about the politicization of the Justice Department. The investigation involves the firing of top Justice Department officials in the midst of sensitive investigations. Slated for testimony in its congressional hearing is James Comey, in what turns out to be a drama-filled, headline-making incident. This may sound like last week's events, but the actual scene is from almost exactly 10 years ago, in May 2007, when Preet Bharara, a former federal prosecutor and first-generation American, entered the national political stage. Armed with a clear vision about the need for a justice system that ensures a government of independently enforced laws, Preet, who was chief counsel to Senator Chuck Schumer, led the investigation into the firing of 8 U.S. attorneys, an investigation which ultimately led to the resignation of the United States Attorney General. But in between were revelations that Preet had investigated and helped bring to light of a dramatic showdown of White House lawyers and senior Justice Department officials, including James Comey and Robert Mueller, at the hospital bed of the then Attorney General. Throughout all of this, Preet won plaudits for his even-handed, nonpartisan, and unflappable approach to this highly controversial episode. Republicans and Democrats alike praised him for his above-board approach to what might have become a political sideshow if it were in the hands of less skilled operatives. I recall back in 2007, about a month or so after the hearings, I witnessed firsthand his pure indignation in a very casual encounter he had when someone asked him about the political impact of the hearings. It was very clear for him that his work was about right and wrong, not about politics or grandstanding. And of course, that work set the stage for the remarkable career that followed and that we have witnessed over the last decade. So how does a young lawyer who was born in the state of Punjab in India get the clarity of vision, the strength of resolve, and the skillfulness of execution in such a high-pressured political cauldron to help his country, our country, live up more fully to its ideals? Preet Bharara, whose full name is Preetinder, is a Sikh name that means the one who loves God. He was born in Firozapur, India. His father, who's here tonight with him, is a Sikh, and his mother, who was a Hindu, were born in what is now Pakistan, before India and Pakistan were separate countries. In the violent migration that occurred after the 1947 partition, each of his parents moved to the Indian side, with their families losing property and most of their possessions. His wife Dalia's father, a Muslim, also moved, but in reverse, from the Indian side into Pakistan, also losing his home. And Dalia's mother was born in Palestine, after her father, who was Jewish, escaped with his family from Nazi Germany. So his family comes from 4 faiths. His father is Sikh, his mother Hindu, his wife's father is Muslim, and her mother Jewish. All were compelled to flee a half-century ago because of their religion. He joked at an event in 2007 that I attended. It means that even when my wife fasts for Yom Kippur and my father-in-law fasts for Ramadan, I get to stuff my face with samosas all day. Preet was an infant when his parents immigrated to the US in 1970. He grew up in New Jersey and graduated from Harvard College and then Columbia Law School. After some years in private practice, when Preet and I actually first met as young lawyers, he became a prosecutor in New York, and then in 2005 joined Senator Schumer's staff as chief counsel. Following the acclaimed hearings that I just described, it's not surprising that President Obama, in 2009, chose him to lead the federal prosecutor's office in Manhattan. As U.S. Attorney in Manhattan for the past 8 years, Preet amassed one of the most storied records atop a most storied office. He took on international arms traffickers, close associates of Osama bin Laden, insider traders, banks, hackers, and street gangs. Most significantly, he took on the city and state's culture of political corruption, sending to prison the leaders of both legislative chambers, which happened to hail from both parties, and investigating the leaders of both the state and the city. He was on the cover of Time magazine. "The Man Busting Wall Street" read the headline. He was named one of the 100 most influential people by Time magazine multiple times. He was profiled in The New Yorker twice. Fortune followed suit. BuzzFeed called him the most dangerous man in American politics. Even then, he had to keep spelling out his name whenever he placed phone calls to colleagues. Through this all, Preet remained unflappable, principled, and committed to equal justice under law. He took heat from members of his own political party for being even-handed and nonpartisan in his cases, since he turned out to be an equal opportunity prosecutor, something that nobody really wants in the end. And he took significant heat from the Indian American community and Indians worldwide for not interfering with or stopping his office from successfully prosecuting members of those communities who were found to have committed criminal acts. So what allows Preet to hold steadfast and firmly to the story of what America can be, and to hold up a mirror to the nation in order to prod it toward a more perfect union based on law? Certainly his unique combination of intellect, humor, knack for storytelling, and flair for drama have all played pivotal roles. But what has been most striking to me over the years has been the inner clarity and his faith in American ideals, a steadfastness under fire that can only arise when someone is completely aligned with his core. So it's my pleasure to present the award, or to introduce the incomparable Preet Bharara.